watched as he fell down the stair. I hadn't realized that. I need to see this part.
So sorry. I'm so sorry.
What did you do to yourself? What's wrong? Baby, what's wrong?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Ryan! Talk to me. What did you do? Baby, please. Don't go. Don't go now. This can't be. Hello? Hello? Yes? Yes, I know. I know you're getting calls about that. I know it's coming from my house. My son, I don't know. He looks like he took some drugs. I need to get him to the hospital. Please. Please. Oh, I don't know what drugs he would have taken. I don't know. There's beer cans everywhere and drawings of, I don't know. I don't know. Please. Thank you. Thank you.
Mom, just
What?
let me go. Just let me go.
Rivers of the Mind, Season 3, Episode 1, The Bird.
What now, John?
I don't know. Ryan and his mother froze still, and we watched as the layers and layers of graph paper and blood plastering the streets outside melted into a viscous and churning mass that swallowed the buildings in the city like hot acid. The earth was mangled beyond recognition, wilting into a tumultuous sea as the house we stood still afloat, bobbing down massive ship-shaping air. Already, Ryan's eyes rusted in their sockets. But by the time we reached the bottom of the stairs, his skin and the skin of his mother had crumbled from their skulls. The remnants of their flesh drifted to the ground in flakes that looked like crumbs from an old breakfast pastry into a heap of rugged shards, catching a faint breeze and withering off into the creeping oblivion surrounding the house. As apocalyptic as the entire scene appeared, it nonetheless felt surprisingly calm. Like the two of us were behind a soundproof window watching a hurricane pound a city.
Do you think we're flying?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It looks like we're flying, kind of.
Yeah, that seems like a Very existentially loaded thing to think about right now, but yeah. I guess, we could be in the ocean too. It looks kind of like an ocean, right? Looks like an ocean.
There's only one way to find out.
Wait, don't reach in!
Oh my god, I'm melting.
No!
No, really, it's fine.
Do you have any ideas?
Maybe we're in hell.
Hell?
I don't know, what do you think? I feel like we're in hell.
It felt like too much of a dream. Like an unreal thing happening in an unreal place. Ryan is dead, I muttered to myself, lost in a hazy, brilliant shock. Victory. Ryan is dead. I am free now. I am not a prisoner. The fight is over. I can go on with my life now. I can forget this ever happened. Hell doesn't sound right. I was not quite in full grasp of my words, almost detached from the person who was saying them. Who was I now without Ryan? The thousands of years of torment at his hands, the uncountable more years that I'd fought alongside him now eclipsed the tiny pinprick of life that I remembered before. As to the question of where we were, who knows? I just know I've won. I know that Ryan is dead, but I don't know where I am. I don't know how I am, or what I am, or why. No, this can't be hell. This can't be hell, it's just the house. It's gonna start over, man. Any minute now. Sapphire didn't appreciate me sitting there and doing nothing, so she stomped past me, scattering half-dissolved aluminum cans across the floor. She searched through the cabinets in the kitchen. She jumped up to see into them. The labels on the cans had been bleached off.
It's the goddamn Russians. That's what it is. We got nuked.
John didn't answer me. I wondered if he was okay. Right now he's on his own frequency. But I guess dropping acid kind of helps you do that, right? Turn on, tune in, drop out, let go of shit. In a perfect world, at least, that's what it's supposed to be used for. To help people. I knew better than most that it could fuck people up too. I was sure either possibility could be happening for him right now. I wondered what he saw on that stairway.
Don't see anything on the stairway. There's nobody on the stairway.
Hey man, that's gonna be okay.
I tried to reassure him, but I hoped I wasn't interrupting him. Like, you know, if it was a good trip, and I was just distracted. I stopped breathing. I backed away from the window, not sure I'd gotten there, or why I was breathing so heavy, or why there wasn't any air moving through my nose or mouth. Why am I pretending I'm breathing? Do I need to do this? I don't need to, but it calms me down, breathing, even with no air, even with no lungs. I pretend it's just snow outside on the ground, not nuclear fallout. I pretend I'm not a shadow stained into a wall. I pretend that I am a pile of dead leaves, awaiting the passing of the solstice, so that the trees will take me back into the roots, and I will scream into the heavens, reborn.
Is that true? What you just said?
That I thought? About the leaves?
No. About what they did.
I didn't remember saying anything, which only made me wonder what I said.
If you'd rather talk about the leaves, we can talk about the leaves.
Or, better, we can try to figure this shit out and not talk about the fucking leaves. Whatever's going on, I don't think we should stay in this house.
It's getting dark.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can find something flammable and make torches or something. We've got all these bones.
It's dark. There's something on the roof.
What, like something we can burn?
No. There's something on the roof. It's casting a shadow.
A shadow circled around the edges of the house.
Sapphire inched away from the window, towards the doorway. I almost called out to her to warn her, but I stopped myself for fear of making noise. Instead, I desperately tried to think of something to do. To move myself out of my profoundly disturbed stupor into action, I stumbled back towards the couch, which had now been weathered down to a few red and yellow threads hanging from a steel frame. I shut my eyes, and I focused, trying to tune out a persistent buzzing in my head, a storm of paranoid questions and ideas. I could feel a numinous and somewhat familiar presence, somewhat benevolent, a wandering soul in search of shelter in the middle of a vast desert. Almost certain that it would be safe to do so, I strode towards the door. Sapphire was already out there. She was smiling a bright, toothy smile and pointing at the roof.
You have to come see this, man.
I tiptoed out onto the ground. A black bird with a long bill perched its webbed feet over the top of the roof, its entire body adorned in neon yellow, purple, and white lines. A titanic creature, almost as big as the house itself. For a moment the bird cocked its head at us, leaning in one of its immense white eyes to study our faces more closely. I felt its mind, a solitary mind, ecstatic to have found us. Snapping back into an upright position, the bird flapped its massive wings and rose into the sky, casting an odd purple light over the ruffled ground as it went, revealing us to be near the base of a giant, round valley. And when I realized it was a valley, my mind suddenly found a center of gravity, and I became aware of a gentle slope that pulled me towards an unseen nadir. The bird sat on a hill right across from us on the valley's edge and looked at us. It eagerly bobbed its head up and down, and up and down, and then leaned in, expectantly.
What do you think? Should we follow it?
I don't see why not. Sure. I had seen into the bird's soul, kind of, and I felt like following it would be an okay thing to do. Even if I couldn't really say that I'd looked at that many bird souls before. I didn't have much to base the decision off of. But without much else to do, the two of us set out away from the house, cutting through its front yard and around the edge of the valley. The center of gravity again rotated, and suddenly it felt like we were walking along the side of a wall, then like we were walking upside down. From there, as we grew closer and closer to the bird, the plane of gravity snapped around us, so that the hill now seemed to tilt in the exact opposite direction, and the bird had become much smaller, the house much larger, even if further away. The bird cooed and flew again across the valley, perching on a tall hill.
What do you think? Should we follow it?
I don't see why not. The bird had led us across the valley once, and it had not imperiled us in any way, shape, or form. The ground in front of us grew steeper and steeper, until flattening out. At that point, I stopped to look around. I'd lost sight of the bird. Was it flying again? Yes. Okay. I saw it perch itself on a hill right in front of us. I tapped Sapphire on the shoulder before she could go any further, and I pointed.
After walking across the flat plain, John suddenly stumbled off course before turning to point at the bird and redirect himself.
Yeah, I see it.
And we kept on walking. It felt weird walking. I couldn't feel the full weight of my body. If I closed my eyes, I could feel myself float away. I don't know if that's always what it's been like to be a ghost. Up until recently, I haven't been conscious enough to know. I was just a scream, one of hundreds. All we did was scream, and no one ever heard. I haven't felt this much since I died. To say the least, it was overwhelming. I hated to think about it, but I kept getting sucked back in, except when I focused on what I'm doing, walking towards the bird.
Hello there, buddy.
The bird was now tall enough to be at eye level. It cocked its head at us again and flew away. John stumbled to my side, out of breath. This time, the bird landed a little bit further away. We kept on moving.
This is so weird.
I didn't know what part he was talking about. I could see a lot of this being weird on acid. It was already pretty weird in real life. The bird was weird. The ground was weird. Lots of things were weird. This was a weird fucking place. And so I said,
I know.
because yeah, whatever he was seeing, I probably think it was weird too, if I could actually see it.
No, you don't feel the ground turning.
Like, metaphorically?
No, like literally. Like we're inside out right now, and we're starting to fold back, and it's all turning. You don't feel that?
I can't, no.
I don't think it's the acid. I think the valley is a hexateron, and it's at the base of a 5-dimensional pyramid, and the house it's getting bigger, but it's also getting smaller because we're getting further away. But it's the bird, and then we're inside the strings, and the strings are unwinding, and you don't feel any of that.
Right, I don't feel any of that.
Nothing. Okay.
Nothing.
The bird had shrunk down to the size of a parrot and perched itself on a grey stone. Starting at the grey stone, there was an exposed vein of silver. John closed his eyes and muttered something under his breath.
No.
I grabbed him by the shoulder. The bird cocked its head at the two of us, but didn't fly away this time.
John, are you okay? What's wrong?
John's eyes looked right through me. I recognized the look. He was in a bad place.
I did it. It was me. I did it. My fault. Of course. No, I did it. Please, not again. No!
The bird bit John on the hand.
Hey!
I grabbed the bird by its claws and swung it as hard as I could. Shaking, I moved towards its pitiful wheezing body.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I killed it.
You killed the bird?
I'm so sorry.
The bird melted into a purple glittering substance that soaked into my skin. My eyes snapped shut, and I saw the bird flying inside of my head, illuminating a world filled with futuristic machines as it flew. A pain in my chest made my eyes jolt open, and that was when I saw my nose. I hadn't really thought about it, but it had been a while since I seen my nose. But now I could see my nose. I could see it pressed into the ground. My ears rang. What the fuck, Sapphire? Did you really have to kill that bird? I hate violence. I hate killing and war and suffering and when things die for no reason. And now I killed a living fucking animal. An animal that tried to save my life. An ominous feeling came over me.
Are you okay?
Well, I killed a bird. How about you?
I turned into a cloud, and I started moving towards a mountain. And then it rained. I rained, and I turned into a trillion blades of grass, and then a herd of deer, and I ate myself alive until the sun started to grow cold, and the next thing you know, there was a bird. And the bird tried to attack my face, and so thanks for killing.
Right. What should we do now?
I think we should keep moving.
You sure you don't want to go back to the house?
No, I can't. I can't.
It's just over there. We can.
No. How about we follow the vein of silver there? Maybe it was trying to show us that so that we could figure out where we are. You know, isn't that what you wanted to do?
Yeah, it was. Now that I don't want to. Don't ask me how I know this, okay? But that I shouldn't have killed that bird. It led us away from the house. It was trying to help us, and I killed it. I don't know, man. Like, we're ghosts, right? So ghosts exist, right? And, like, the bird is dead now, and maybe this thing has a ghost. I don't know. Honestly, I don't want to sound like I'm going crazy, but I can't go. I
don't want to tell you what to do. But I can't go back to the house. I would rather stay with you. But if you need to go back to the house, then I can wait here for you, I guess, if you need me to.
Well, I don't want to be alone, man. This place wigs me out. I know it's just a bird, but I probably sound nuts right now, but I'm getting really bad vibes from all of this. Who knows what else is out there, man? I don't think you should be out here waiting for me, and I don't think I should go back to the house by myself.
Okay, you don't sound nuts. It's like you said, everything here is weird. Sanity probably means something different here than it would mean if we weren't tripping on acid inside of whatever this is, you know, and you'd be nuts if you thought it was normal. So I think that, so when that bird started to attack me, is the thing, it wasn't angry. It knew what you were going to do. It knew you were going to kill it.
Yeah?
Yeah. It wasn't distressed either. It was not angry like when it died. So I don't think it'd be vengeful. And besides, out here, it's like the size of a parrot. And if we go back to the house, it's going to be the size of a fucking dragon. And so, yeah, if you're really worried about it seeking revenge, maybe we should, you know.
Well, maybe. I don't know. If you're dead set on following the vein of silver, I'll go with you. I don't want you to have to walk by yourself either.
All right. Thanks. Sapphire begrudgingly walked towards me, looking back at the house, which to her didn't seem all that far away anymore. I didn't want to tell her what had really happened. With the bird, yeah, but also with the walk from the house. I didn't want to bring it up again. I started up the hill towards the vein of silver. She followed close behind. Our hands brushed up against one another as we set down the path. The terrain felt nearly frictionless, like ice. But we kept from slipping somehow, and we pressed onwards.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Rivers of the Mind. My name is Timmy Vilgiate, the writer and producer of Rivers of the Mind, and I also played the part of John. CJ Hackett played the part of Ryan, Christina Vilgiate played the part of Ryan's mom, and Sophia Doss played the part of Sapphire. We recorded this episode at Library 21C in Colorado Springs, Colorado, a great resource for anyone in the area, and we used freesound.org for sound effects. Consider leaving a review if you have enjoyed the show, and if you have any suggestions for things that we can do better in future episodes. Thanks, folks, and have a great day.